In this video, we are going to look at converting between different measurements in the temperature scale. So we have Celsius, Fahrenheit, and Kelvin. They're the three units we're going to be talking about with temperature. 100 units on the Celsius scale, starting from 0, is equivalent to 180 units in the Fahrenheit scale, starting at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So our sort of conversions between Fahrenheit and Celsius is the following. So we have 1.8 degree Celsius plus 32. So essentially you're multiplying your Celsius degree by 1.8 and then adding 32. And then you're going to kind of do the opposite of that to go from Fahrenheit to Celsius. You're going to subtract 32 and divide by 1.8. So let's look at some examples. So if I want to convert 25 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit, and we're rounding to the nearest hundredth for these. So Fahrenheit equals 1.8 times 25 plus 32. So we're going to do 25 times 1.8. So gets us 45. And then we add 32 to get 77 degrees Fahrenheit. And to go from Fahrenheit to Celsius, we're going to do 90 minus 32 divided by 1.8, so we get 58 divided by 1.8, and we get 32.22222. So if we're rounding to the nearest hundredth, we get 32.22 degrees Celsius. For Kelvin, we use a K. It's not degrees K, it's just K. It's another temperature scale which has an absolute 0, meaning that its 0 is there's no heat, energy, all the molecules stop moving, so it's called an absolute 0 at 0. And so converting between Kelvin and degrees Celsius is pretty simple. It has a difference of 273.15 degrees. So if you have a Celsius degree, you're just going to add 273.15 to get to Kelvin. And if you have Kelvin and want to get to Celsius, you're just going to subtract 273.15. To go between Fahrenheit and Kelvin is a little bit trickier, but essentially what you're going to do is put it into Celsius and then do the Celsius conversion. So you'll notice that this part of the formula is just the Fahrenheit to Celsius conversion. And then to go from Kelvin to Fahrenheit, we're just kind of undoing that formula. So let's look at sort of completing this whole chart here between Celsius, Fahrenheit, and Kelvin. So for A, I have 22 degrees Celsius. To get to Fahrenheit, I'm going to do 1.8 times the 22, and then I'm going to add 32, and I get 71.6 degrees Fahrenheit. And then to get to Kelvin, the easiest way is with the Celsius. So let's go from Celsius to Kelvin by taking our 22 and just adding 273.15. And we get 295.15 Kelvin. And again, remember, we don't use the degree symbol there. For B, I'm going to go from Fahrenheit to Celsius. So I'm going to take my negative 15, subtract 32, and then divide by 1.8. I get negative 47 over 1.8. which is negative 26.11 degrees Celsius. And then to go to Kelvin, let's do the Fahrenheit to Kelvin conversion so you can see that one work out. So we're going to take our Fahrenheit, which is negative 15, do minus 32 over 1.8, and then add 273.15. So we get negative 47 over 1.8 plus 273.15, or negative 26.11111. We don't want to round, right, until the end. And we get 247.038. So I'm going to do 0.04 in order to round to 2 decimal places. And again, remember, it's just a K, not degrees K, in order to get our final answer there. Okay, you try C and D, pause the video, and then start it up again when you're ready. There, let's look at C. So I have 600 Kelvin and I need to go to Fahrenheit and Celsius. So let's first look at our Celsius conversion. So I'm going to take my Kelvin and subtract 273.15. And you get 326.85 degrees Celsius. And if I want to go to Fahrenheit, I'm going to do 1.8, 600 minus 273.15 plus 32. So using our order of operations, I have to do the inside of the brackets first. So I'm going to do 600 minus 273.15 to get 326.85. Then I'm going to multiply 1.8 times my 326.85 to get 588.33. And I'm going to add 32. And I get 620.33 degrees Fahrenheit. So very, very, very hot. And then for D, we can follow a similar pathway for 25. So if I want to go to Celsius, I'm going to take 25 and subtract 273.15. Negative 248.15. And for Fahrenheit, again, we're going to do our brackets first. So 25 minus 273.15. I'm going to times that by 1.8. And add 32. And I get negative 414.67 degrees Fahrenheit. So very, very, very cold. Right, awesome. So I'd like you to rank yourself on being able to convert between units of temperature. Thumbs down if you have trouble converting, finger pointed if you need some more practice, and a thumbs up if you're like, I've got this, I can convert between units of temperature, I don't need any more help or practice.